Hey guys, and welcome back to another race review video. Today we're going to look ultimately at the semi-final of the women's 100 freestyle at the European Championships in 2018. For one particular reason, we saw something that was a little bit different to what we expect. I'll be the first one to admit that at times swimming can be quite a mundane sport to watch. The guy that leads from the start of the race generally ends up winning, and we don't really see anyone, do anything crazy, and we don't get too much drama or rivalries. Outside the bickering between Sun Yang and Duncan Scott at last year's World Championships, and the finger wagging between Lily King and Yulia Efimova at the Rio Olympics, I can't really say things have got too personal or entertaining over the last few years of swimming. That was until what Pernille Blume tried to do at the 2018 European Championships, where she tried to sort of make a statement in the semi-final of the 100 freestyle, having come second by 0.01 of a second in the 50 freestyle just days before. What she ultimately tried to do was, after qualifying for the semi-finals the fastest in the 100 freestyle, she tried to do a 50 freestyle time trial almost in the 100 free semi. I just remember watching it and thinking, we need more of this, we need more storylines in swimming, and that's why I absolutely loved watching that race. As much as you might have thought she was ridiculous or silly for doing it, people don't do anything that's sort of out of line in swimming, not near enough. At least in a way that's not actually offensive or detrimental or cheating or anything like that. And it does bring me to just people that have been almost maniacs and just crazy people that have gone out races just way too fast. And I'm going to go through a couple of examples of people sort of steam training the first part of a race, and sometimes it succeeds and sometimes it doesn't succeed. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, subscribe, like the video, check me out on Instagram at theswimsuitguy95, and let's get involved in the video. So the first video we've got to watch here is the 100 freestyle final at the World Championships 2013 in Barcelona, and you'll see what happens here. But Vlad Morozov goes out up at the top there in lane 2 like a man possessed. He's got this crazy straight arm technique and he is flying under world record place, and no one has ever turned in 21.9 from a flat start, not that I can remember anyway. And he comes off the wall and he's still going strong. He's still leading the race. And we're at 75 now and he's still inching ahead. And everyone's thinking, will he do it? And then the piano falls on his back. And oh my God, I've never seen deceleration like that. The poor man is barely hanging on. I think he finishes in 5th or 6th. Magnussen charges back, takes the win, just beating out the Americans in Fagan and Adrian. And actually, just before this meet, Vlad Morozov won the World University Games in a 47.6. So had he repeated that form, he probably could have won this race. And instead, he sort of went out and went for something even more magical. Had he been able to finish that race, we might have seen a 46. What we end up seeing is a lot of people end up trying to be too sort of strategic in races and don't just sort of let things happen and give it a go. And I remember Brett Hawke told me that back in 2002 at the Pan Pacs, basically he was bet that he couldn't go out under 23 seconds for a 100 freestyle, which at the time was just unheard of. And he flipped in 22.6. I don't know what he come back in. I don't know if he got back, but I just rate things like that. And I think they make cool storylines. And this here we have is the men's 200 freestyle at the World Short Course Championships back in 2018 in Hangzhou. I love this meet, really cool meet, fast meet. And we had Blake Peroni down the bottom lane. He was, I think, the slowest, the second slowest qualifier to this final, but we know he's got great pedigree in this event. He's great in the short course yards pool. He was the first man sub 130 there. He's great long course in the 100 and the 200. So it makes sense that he'd be pretty good at the 200 freestyle short course. And, he realises he's probably an outside chance in this. He's barely made the final and he's got to make things happen, really. So he makes things happen. He takes things out. Well, as you can see, he's under world record split just after the first 25, but he takes things out mad. Like, he's barely in the lead at 50, like one of the other boys from Brazil was up there with him, but he's flipped in 23-1. Both them boys flipped in 23-1. But the Brazilians sort of, all right, I'm going to hold back a little bit. I'm going to be smart here. Blake Peroni just charges ahead. He's got this lovely hybrid gallop stroke there, charging forward with that left arm, breathing to his right. And he's flying here. Look at this. And he looks nice. He doesn't look like he's all out, but he's fast. He's 48.4, but then he's a guy who can swim a 46. So he looks lovely here, and he's taking it to everyone else. The Brazilians at the same meet set the 4x200 world record, and he's being tracked down by two of them right now. Danas Rapsis, who's been the fastest 200 freestyle long course in many years, he's in this race as well. But at this point, with 50 to go, Peroni's almost taken a body length's lead, and I can only imagine he's hurting. 1:14 for 150, I don't need to tell you, is very fast, and everyone else is making a go at coming back, especially Danas Rapsis on the other side of the field. But Peroni's he's holding on. He looks like he's hurting. Rapsis is charging back. It's going to be close, but Peroni, he holds on. He makes it happen, and he does the sort of fly or die race plan, and it pays off for him from an outside lane, and it just shows that sometimes it comes together and sometimes it doesn't. Clos nearly won the 200 free at the Rio Olympics doing a similar thing, and you might not know of Clos being such a talent at such a diverse amount of races. But Chad is so much more than just a butterfly swimmer. And actually at the Rio Olympics, he only got 2 individual silver medals, and they were in the 100 fly and the 200 freestyle. And if we look at some of his other events, down here, he'll have, here you go, he's got Commonwealth Games gold medals in the 400 IM, in the 50 fly, in relays, 200 medley medals. This guy has been a world-class swimmer at a lot of strokes, medley, fly, freestyle, and he went out like an absolute animal in that Olympic final, and just about got pipped at the end by Sun Yang, who, well, we know is a cheater anyway. So in some eyes, he would be the Olympic champion. Anyhow, we're finally at what we came here for, the European semi-final in 2018 of the women's 100 freestyle. And as you saw there, Pernille Blume was the fastest seed in the second semi with a 52.9 from the morning. And this event ultimately ended up being won in 52.9. So she was, on track for potentially winning this event. And she went 23.74 in the individual 50 freestyle to Sjostrom's 23.73. And she obviously wasn't happy by being beaten by that small margin. There she is there. So, for the first sort of 15 metres, you won't really notice anything unordinary because, well, they're starting, but you can just see her stroke rate there in lane 4 is much higher. Now she's just ripping away with her head down. Everyone's breathing every 2. She's just absolutely flying. I think she might have snuck a breath there. I'm not entirely sure, but my God, the other girls must be thinking, what's going on? 23.98, then an open turn like it was a fly race, and fair play to her for even coming off the turn, having basically done a no-breath 50, 0.85 under the European record split. And here at 75, she's still in the top 3. She's with the girls on her left, and if she can just hang on, she will make the final. Unfortunately, she won't have set the world record at the 50 or achieved her goal of beating the time that Sarah Sjostrom won the individual in. But, oh, God, we can just tell the lactate's fizzing in her body right there. And unfortunately, I think she finished in 5th or 6th and didn't quite make the final. But it was a valiant effort, and sadly, we probably won't see much more of this sort of thing happen again because she wasn't successful in her sort of endeavours. Yeah, you can see there, she's thinking, my God, that hurt. And probably she doesn't even know what a split was at this point. Look, there we go, look. Does she have a look? Maybe she had the time for a little look up at the clock. And fair on her for doing fly kicks off the wall there. Like, having just not breathed on a 50, I'd probably push off on my back gasping. So, she did try and close the race out. It was a bit of a crazy concept. There she goes. She comes 6th in that heat with a 54.7. So she did come back over 30 seconds, which is pretty brutal. Maybe you didn't know about this race. Maybe you enjoyed watching it. And I'd love to see more sort of drama and storylines and little things like this happen in the sport of swimming, because it makes it exciting to watch. Like everyone was shocked watching this. No one knew it was going to happen. No one knew why it was happening. And it was just cool, you know, to flip almost a second, touch almost a second under European, which I think is world record pace from Sarah Sjostrom. And I love watching races where people just go out on a whim, try something crazy, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And just risking it all, really. I'd like to see more people try that in the future. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please could you leave a like so YouTube's algorithm will send me out to more people. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.